All right, let's take a few minutes and talk about the conflict cycle. This is Phil again. And just take a look at this scenario here and go with me. Here's what happens in life. The stress of life, which is normal. You get up in the morning, it's stressful to listen to the alarm clock. We don't call it the opportunity clock. We call it the alarm clock. It's alarming. So stress starts in the morning. Maybe you're getting ready to go to bed and you go, I didn't get this done and this done. Stress hits in the evening. You're in the middle of the day and you're going, my tools are broken. What am I going to do? Stress comes up. Our beliefs interact with that stress, and that's called conflict. We decide what to do next. As that conflict comes into our life through the funnel of events and opportunities and issues, then we call those, maybe we call those problems, we call those issues. Then it intersects with our feelings and thoughts, and we have warning signs, physical warning signs, thoughts, feelings, and we begin to respond or react to those stress and beliefs and conflicts and problems that have come up. And how we respond or react determines the next results. And those next results determine what size of a problem we're left with. We might have exploded the problem and made it bigger by the way that we responded to it. We may have shrunk the problem. We may have solved the problem. But you can be confident more stress and more beliefs are going to come in and more conflicts. And this cycle is constantly going on. So if we attend to our feelings and our thoughts, make them better and more structured and more responsive versus reactive, then our actions give us better results. Those better results reduce the size of our problems. And like my friend Danny says, I just don't have as many problems as I used to. Yes, we do have as many, but they don't impact us the same way. We have a better life. Now, you're going to jump over. Next session is going to be watch the Breakfast Club movie, and then you're going to come back and I'm going to spend some time talking with you. You're not going to watch the whole movie. You're just going to watch a clip. Here we are. What got Bender into trouble? Think about that movie. What? Oh, my gracious. What got him into trouble? What did he do that he didn't need to be doing? Right? And how could he have done it better? Think about that. Could it, remember that point he looks over at the girl and she's going, chill out. And in his mind, I'm sure what's going on is, man, I like this girl and I want to be impressive to her, so I'm just going to bump this up another one. And he gets two more, or I don't remember how many more detentions as he reacts to his emotions about the girl. He's the one who started the thing to begin with to get, to irritate the principal. All of the different things that he did. What could he have done different? Could he have just been quiet? Could he have never started it? Could he have exited at any point? We do the same thing. We get ourselves into trouble. There's two types of problem situations. There's the in your face, you have to act immediately. Someone in authority accuses us. There's a physical threat. We need an immediate response. There may be only seconds to define a response. That's the rare type of problem. Most problems don't fall into the in your face, and we do have those. And how we have conditioned the internal engine of our thoughts, feelings, emotions, attitudes, and beliefs is going to determine how we're going to respond to that in your face situation. There's a lot of training today across the United States on open carry and concealed carry, people carrying guns. And most of that training has very little to do with the gun. It has to do with how can you make good decisions before you ever touch that weapon. How can you do some things with that in-your-face situation and think it's right? So you have to train yourself to think. Even people hand out little cards and say, just go through this scenario over and over and over and over. If you're training for the military or the FBI or police academy, whatever it is, you train for high-stress situations, an EMT worker, so that when it's there, you just respond to it out of the inside job, right? Then there are the other situations where you had time to think. You don't have to take immediate action. You expect to see someone and they don't show up. You want to buy something and you don't have the money. There's time to think. There's time to make a plan. Most of our situations fall into the second category. We have time to think. We don't have to take immediate action. We can delay it. Even though the other person is pressuring us, pushing on us, and trying to get us to do something right now, we can put it aside for a minute. We can slow it down and think it through. And we need to decide. And sometimes immediate situations can be made into a time to think situation if we think quickly enough to say, how can I delay this situation that's in front of me right now? Maybe I can't. Maybe I can. Can I ask for more time? Can I take a time out? Right? And what we're really after is our risk feelings. Our temperature is high. Right? Here's 2 thermometers. And over here on the one side, the risk feelings are high. Boom, it's topped out. Our thinking skills that we've been working on all this time is what helps us take that risk feeling down, take that temperature down, and begin to assess ourselves, the emotions, the situation. Whew, take a breath, reduce the risk, right? Reduce the risk, and apply our thinking skills to help that temperature come down so that we can think clearly. Why is that important? Well, you're normal. That's why that's important. Maybe up to this point you've thought, well, I must be different. I'm always getting angry and I don't seem to be able to control it. Maybe you just don't understand. I'm going to help you understand a little bit here. This is your brain. The frontal lobe, or flow, we'll call the frontal lobe flow from this point because it's easier. The frontal lobe is where you make all your critical decisions. It's where you sit down and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. You think it out. When you're rested and you don't have a bunch of chemicals in your system and you're working well, your frontal lobe functions well. Your amygdala, Amy, is your warning system. Amy dispenses chemicals to flow whenever you feel angry, whenever you feel threatened, that tell flow, shut up, shut down, I'm in charge, we're going to react, and pushes you into that place called the brainstem, or the reptilian brain, the instinctual brain, the defensive brain. So you're normal when you get defensive, you're normal when you get angry, but you can control it. If you've let Amy, if you're living in continual stress, continual heightened risk, Amy's just running you all the time and you're not making any good critical decisions at all. You're just running on adrenaline and on internal chemicals or maybe external chemicals that you're adding to the mix, making it even harder for Flo to get her job done. Right? So you're normal, but you can control Amy. You have control of your situations. You can make decisions. You can do something different to get yourself back into the frontal lobe and make great decisions instead of instinctual decisions. Sometimes you need that instinct in a threatening situation, but too often we go to instinct.